Hey everybody, Attorney Sean Smallwood here. Just wanted to shoot a quick video about uncontested divorce and how not to mess one up. Now, I'm naming this video How Not to Mess One Up because uncontested divorces are by far our favorite type of divorce that we get here in the office. We know that it's an unfortunate process, getting divorced, but it's made much more traumatic and unfortunate when people have high conflict in their cases and are not able to agree on the major issues. And so we have an emphasis in all of our cases on trying to leave no stone unturned when it comes to figuring out ways to get the case resolved on an uncontested basis. So that's kind of what gave rise to this title of this video. Now, before I get started, I want to let you know that nothing in this video is meant to constitute legal advice. Nothing here is meant to establish an attorney-client relationship. No video is a substitute for getting on-the-spot direct legal advice from an experienced attorney based on your specific set of circumstances. Okay, now that I got that out of the way. Uncontested divorce and how not to mess one up. So the biggest problem that I see happen is people, before they ever call an attorney, will talk to their spouse too much. Okay, so let's say it might be the husband is trying to settle the case verbally before they ever even put it in writing or ever even talk to an attorney. Now, I'm going to say that several times in this video. They try to settle the case verbally before they put it in writing. Remember that, because that's the key. So the husband, for example, might say, hey wife, how much alimony do you want? I'm willing to pay you this much. I can pay, I can maybe take a loan on my 401k, or I can sell this asset and I can pay you this much. So the problem there is that there's a lot of negotiation in these cases. Obviously, everybody knows that. But when you are trying to settle the case verbally before you've spoken to your attorney or before you've put it in writing, you're kind of giving away a lot of your negotiating power. And I'm going to explain to you why. Now, I don't like comparing divorce cases to buying and selling cars. All right, I hate that drawing that analogy, but I have to do it here, okay? If you go to look at a new car, and the sticker price is $10,000. Most of the time, most people are not going to walk in there and just say, hey, I'll take it for 10 grand. They're going to say, hey, will you take 8,500? Okay, well, what about 9,000? Because you got a competitor down the street who's selling it for 9,000. Right, you're going to haggle a little bit. That's a common negotiating process. It unfortunately works in a very similar way when you're figuring out the details of your uncontested divorce. So, what the husband in my hypothetical situation is doing is he's saying, hey, I can pay you, $1,000 a month in alimony. I'll take some money from here and I'll borrow some money from there and I can make that payment work. Will that work? Because the party, in this case the husband, wants to get the case settled so bad, wants that uncontested divorce so bad that he is basically educating the other party on what his bottom line is and what he can do. Here's the problem with that. Once the offer gets made to the other attorneys are always going to try to push you beyond what your bottom line is. So it's just like, back to the car analogy. You're basically communicating to the other side what your sticker price is. And now that might not seem bad, but remember, the sticker price is always the opening bid, right? That's the number, that's the invitation for negotiation. And if you are just completely educating the other side, like not just educating, but drilling it in their brain, talking about it constantly, about what your bottom line is, what the absolute best you can do is, the problem is, they're going to usually see that as your sticker price. They're going to see that as the opening bid, the invitation for a negotiation. And if they don't, I guarantee their attorney's going to see it that way. And so what you want to do is maybe ask a couple probing questions. Say, hey, wife, how much do you think you deserve? How much do you think I should pay? Or what do you think would be a fair amount? Or wives, you can say, well, hey, husband, how much do you think I deserve? What do you think would be a fair amount for me to get? Okay, instead of giving a bunch of information to the other side, think of this as you're on a mission to collect information. And then you take the information that you collect by asking these kind of probing but gentle, open-ended questions. Take that information back to your attorney so you guys can sit down and put something together in writing, to formally send over to the other side. And remember, when you send it over to the other side, you got to put a deadline on it. You got to say, hey, look, if we don't get this in the next 7 days or 10 days, we're going to be forced to file for divorce. You have to light that fire, because if you give people too much time to think about it, unfortunately, they're going to talk to their neighbor, their brother, their barber, their hairdresser, their sister, you name it. And they're going to get all kinds of bad advice, and they're going to overthink it, and they're going to backpedal, and the deal will fall apart. So you want to give them sufficient time to think about it, but you want to set a deadline. And if they have an attorney, that's fine. The attorney's going to understand that that deadline is real, and that they will file, and that you will file for divorce if the deadline's not met. And here's the kicker: when you set that deadline, you absolutely have to be prepared to stick to it. So if you say, look, I need this back in 7 days, or I'm going to be forced to file for divorce, on that 8th day, you're going to have to back that up. You're going to have to do what you said you were going to do. And here's why: because if you don't, all you're doing is you're showing the other side, hey, look, I'm going to give you these arbitrary deadlines. I'm going to make these threats, but there's nothing behind it. I'm just bluffing. I'm not going to stick to my word. There's not going to be any pushback here. There will be no resistance. You have to do and follow through with every deadline, every consequence that you set. And I personally believe that that is also an important part of the negotiation process. And that is making sure the other side understands that there are consequences. There are negative reactions if they don't engage in the negotiations in a way that's fair and reasonable toward you. Anyway, listen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are a divorce law firm located in Orlando, Florida. As I said earlier, we have lots of uncontested divorce cases. We've developed lots of ways to take that case that might have some conflict and kind of turn it down a path where it's heading in a more uncontested direction. I personally believe that my job to help people is furthered, that I do a better job of helping people, of servicing my clients, if I do everything I can to take that giant barge, that aircraft carrier, right, that is a multi-issue divorce case, and just kind of start to turn it a little bit toward that uncontested direction. And if I can do that, if any lawyer can do that, then they are providing a tremendous value of service to their clients. We've got a lot more information we can share. We're going to continue making educational videos just like this and posting them on our website and on our YouTube channel. But also, if you are in Florida and you're going through a divorce, give us a call. We can sit down with you for a consultation, examine your particular set of facts, and let you know what we could do to help, what we recommend you do. We're very big on strategic advice, and I believe that these cases are truly 80% strategy, maybe 10% filing the right piece of paper on time, and 10% courtroom ability. But the strategy is everything. So don't put off calling an attorney, and don't try to settle your case verbally before you ever talk to your lawyer or put anything on paper. I've seen it cause more harm than good. All right, thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.